So solve for x, and what we're doing here is working on x plus 3 over 6 equals 23. So remember, everybody, the first thing we want to do is we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We do not want to rush this. We simply want to point out what operations we are looking at going forward. One more time. We want to point out what operations we are observing going forward. So here's what I'm going to pretend. I'm going to pretend that I know what x is, and if I plugged in the value of x, what would happen first based on the setup, everybody? Should I add 3 to the x first, or should I divide the x by 6? Which one happens first based on what we see? Yeah, if you're saying addition, you're correct. I want to explain a very clear difference. Everybody follow along with me. This is what we have, right? We have x plus 3 all over 6. The other example that some folks might be getting confused with is this, where we have x over 6 plus 3. Notice that these are two very similar but very different expressions, right? Pay attention, everybody. Pay attention very closely. On this one here on the left side, if I knew what x was, what's going to happen first is you take care of the entire numerator first. You would add the 3 first, and then what you would do is divide by the 6. That's very different than what's going on here. What we're looking at on the right side is you would actually have to divide by the 6 first, because the 3 is not with the fraction. The 3 is by itself. One more time. The plus 3 is by itself. So we would divide by the 6 first, then we would add the 3. My party people, before we continue, does that make sense in terms of the difference between these two setups? Again, same operations, same numbers, but the order is different simply because of the grouping. That's what it's all about, everybody. So once we see this, the difference between these two, what you have to understand is you take care of the whole numerator first, then we divide by the 6. If we observe it in that way, add the 3 first, then divide by the 6, then the first thing we're going to do is work backwards from dividing by 6. Everybody, what is the opposite of dividing by 6? What's that going to be? Yeah, opposite of dividing by 6 is going to be multiplication by 6. Once we do that, multiply by 6 on the left and the right sides, it's going to cancel out. It's going to cancel out on the left, leaving us with x plus 3, and that's going to be equal to 23 multiplied by 6. If we do that, right over here, 6 times 3 gives us 18, and then 2 times 6 gives us 12, carry the 1, is 13. Boom, 138. But once we have that, everybody, what's the final step? We have to get rid of that plus 3. So what are we meant to do here at the end to both sides? Yeah, just subtract. Just get rid of that plus 3 by subtracting 3 on both sides, right there and there, leaving us with the final answer of x, because of the cancellation, equals 135. And there we go. The correct answer here will be A. And again, just to review it one more time, what we have here is this scenario on the left, not this one on the right, this one on the left. Everything on the top is grouped together. So the first thing you got to take care of was the division of 6 first. That's the big part there. Hopefully that was a help. And let's tackle the next one. So when we take a look at this one, everybody, let's look at the end goal. What is the running time for each lap in minutes and seconds? Okay, so here's what we want. We want 1 lap, and that's going to be ultimately in minutes and seconds. And if you look at your answer choices, yeah, for sure, you have minutes and seconds all the way here. So let's go ahead and get into it here. We see that a runner completes a race in 12 minutes and 36 seconds. So let's highlight that there. Completes in 12 minutes and 36 seconds. So that's the total time. All right, sounds good. Then we see that it says it's divided into 4 equal laps. Okay, what is the running time for each lap in minutes and seconds? All right, so we see clearly here that it says divided into 4 equal laps. So my party people, is it true that one of the ways to do this, given how we've been tackling problems so far in today's class, is it true that one of the ways to do this is to take the 12 minutes and 36 seconds, convert it into seconds, then divide by 4, and then turn whatever you get back into minutes and seconds? Is that one of the ways to get this done? Hey, I'm not asking you to judge it. I'm not asking you to judge me. I'm asking you if it is one of the ways to get it done. Yeah, for sure, right? It is one of the ways to get it done. But overall, everybody, don't lose sight of the overall purpose. Everybody, what is the overall thing that we're doing? We're taking the amount of time that we're given, and we are simply going to divide it by what? Yeah, we're simply going to divide it by 4. That's it. That's the goal here. We are here to take the total time and divide it by 4. When you choose to convert, ultimately is up to you. You are supposed to convert if it is beneficial to you. In this case, everybody, you don't have to convert. This is honestly a 10, 20-second problem, and you're good because of the convenience of the numbers that you have. Take a look at the convenience here. If I were to choose to just say, hey, the goal here is to divide this by the 4 laps, so we see the time per lap. Everybody, quick question. When it comes to dividing by 4, what do you notice about 12 and 36? Yeah, Ariane, they are clearly divisible by 4. So in this particular case, everybody, although we can convert this into seconds, then divide by 4, then turn it back into minutes and seconds, do we have to do that here? Correct. We do not. We do not have to do that. And so this is one of those examples that I'm proud to show you because it's very easy to overthink some things. It's very easy to only choose to do the only way you know how to do something, and that clouds your judgment. In this particular problem, if you would have noticed that they're clearly both divisible by 4, then guess what? Your answer is going to be, hey, 12 divided by 4, that's 3. We'll keep the minutes on that. And then if we take a look at this, 36 divided by 4 is 9, and we keep the seconds on that. And there we go. There's our final answer, 3 minutes and 9 seconds, because 12 minutes and 36 seconds is divisible by 4. Both of those values are clearly divisible by 4, and that could have saved you a ton of time that you can use on the next question. So my party people, let me know, did you get got, or did you see that all the way through?